Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 33 weeks pregnancy update. Today, according to the Bump app, the baby is the size of a stalk of celery and is around 17.2 inches and could weigh anywhere between 4 to 6 pounds. So as usual, I'll go ahead and read you guys some of the symptoms that the Bump app says that I should have experienced this past week. It says that I should have been probably more hot than usual, which has definitely been true for this past week. Headaches. I actually have had a few headaches and I didn't even realize that I didn't even think of that as like one of the symptoms, but I've had more headaches this past week. Shortness of breath. Yes, I'm like short of breath even from this very short intro into this video. Forgetfulness and clumsiness. I don't think I've been more clumsy, but I do think I've been more forgetful, or just I felt like my brain has just been mush this past week. Like I was ordering breakfast somewhere and I told them no tomatoes, and I was ordering a yogurt and granola parfait. So obviously there were no tomatoes going into this yogurt and granola parfait, and I just felt like a complete dummy. But okay, so that's all that the Bump app says as far as symptoms go, and now I will go ahead and read you guys some of the symptoms that I've taken notes on from this past week. Oh, so another thing that I did want to mention to you guys that I heard from either the Bump or Ovia app is that the baby is now swimming in less amniotic fluid. So I just thought that was like such an interesting fact to read, that there's less amniotic fluid in there. So now the baby's movements are going to feel a little like more sharp and stuff, if that makes sense. That's how I read it, or I heard it somewhere. And I think that I've noticed that. I think I've noticed that his movements are just more sharp than they were before. And another fact that I read was that the baby is right around the height that he'll be when he's born. And I think that is just absolutely crazy to think about. So first and foremost, I just want to say that I'm sorry that I can't report that this week has been really great. It hasn't been super easy, and I always feel really, really bad getting on here and like saying these things and complaining, because I want to be like a positive person and like just make people feel good about like pregnancy and everything like that. But this was another really tough week for me. It was just absolutely draining, and I still feel super exhausted. I am so very proud of myself for like actually filming this video right now and like getting ready and presentable, and like I even did my hair and my makeup. What you're seeing right now is not any indication of how this past week has been, because it has been a really tough week, and I'm so sorry to say that, guys, but I just want to be completely honest and not make you feel like what you're seeing is like, you know, I don't want people to compare themselves at 33 weeks to me and be like, oh my gosh, it seems like she's like having the perfect pregnancy and stuff like that, because I'm definitely not. I don't know if any of you guys really would feel that way, because I don't think that I'm portraying that, but I know that I'm constantly comparing myself to other people who are at the same week as I am or further along, and I feel like, how are they doing it? How are they still surviving? Because I feel like I am just barely holding on at this point. So I just wanted to throw that disclaimer out there, and yeah, I will go ahead and get into the symptoms now. One of the newest symptoms and like the most noticeable symptom from this past week that I've noticed is that not only in addition to being just short of breath in general, I've had moments where I feel like my breath is just being sucked out of me. Like there's a brief second where my breath, like, it feels like the baby is just like in there, like swallowing my breath really quickly. I know that sounds bad, but it's like, it's very strange. It's a strange sensation to feel like your breath is just like getting taken away from you very quickly. And that was one of the things that I noticed that started happening this past week. And like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I have been so physically exhausted. And I don't know if it's because, I mean, obviously I'm getting later in pregnancy, that's kind of to be expected. But I don't know if maybe because I've had so many of like the contractions and everything, if my body is just like, it's physically just not handling it all very well, and I just feel very, very weak all the time. But just walking from like our car into the grocery store or something like that, I feel like my legs might give out, and I just feel like I need to stop and take a second and just gather myself and gather my energy before I can keep walking. So it's gotten to the point where it's like I honestly, like, I cannot even walk very far at all. And that's really sad because walking is said to be like such a great exercise for pregnant women. And it just makes me really nervous about the birth and everything. Another newer symptom is that my belly has been feeling really heavy. It just feels like the weight is just like pulling my belly down, and there's just like a lot of pressure and everything. I mean, I know my belly, it's been feeling very tight, so I don't know if that's just part of it. But yeah, it just, there's just so much pressure. Like it feels like it's just weighing down, and I almost feel like I need to like hold my belly up sometimes. I am literally sweating right now, and I think it's like 70 degrees in my house. My boobs actually started leaking around like 20 weeks. And they leak like on and off. They've never really like leaked just constantly. But they have, this past week, they leaked so much. I had started feeling like my boobs were feeling very different, like they were feeling very heavy, and just, I could tell things were going on. Like I could almost feel like little pockets of, I don't know if like my ducts were already like clogged or something like that. It just seems very strange that I'm still pregnant and that this is like happening to my boobs, but they felt really warm to the touch, and they felt really heavy and just kind of like irritated. So I went and did some research on it, and apparently you can actually get, I believe you can actually get mastitis before, like while you're pregnant. And some of the things that I read about that said that you really should not like have too much nipple stimulation while you're pregnant, because that's actually like something that people do to cause induction. So if you if you stimulate your nipples too much, it could cause you to go into labor. So after I read that, I was very happy. Like I actually Googled that. I made sure that I wasn't like messing with them or anything like that. And apparently you're not supposed to put anything like any heat on your boobs. So because I was thinking, well, maybe I have clogged ducts, maybe I need to like put something hot on, put like a heating, like those things that you microwave and put on, and maybe I need to do that and see if like something is clogged or something like that. Well, it also suggested not to put heat on there because that can also cause contractions and might cause you to go into labor. But anyways, so what I did was I ended up putting ice packs on my boobs because, like I said, they were feeling very hot and they just felt really weird. And after I put the ice packs on them for like a few days after that, they leaked so much. So my husband took me to Target the other day because I have pretty much grown, like I don't really fit in any of my clothes anymore. This is actually a maternity shirt from Target that I really, really love. And it's super comfortable. But anyways, so we had to go to Target the other day and I had my husband go with me because honestly, like, because I was feeling so weak, I don't know if I could have made it there by myself and walked around by myself. I basically had to have him help me like walk around the store and just help me like carry some of the clothes and stuff like that. But like I said, I pretty much had no clothes left and I wasn't going to buy any more maternity clothes because I feel like I'm already at a point where it's like I didn't want to spend any more money on maternity clothes, but I really needed just a few more things. And some of you guys may have actually seen the post that I put on Instagram about sitting in the dressing room and just getting really emotional whenever I tried on this dress because I looked unrecognizable. Like I felt really self-conscious about my body and just, you know, it was just an emotional moment for me, like to feel like, for one, I just looked completely different, and for two, I was so physically drained that I had to try on a piece of clothing and then sit down and like catch my breath because it was that difficult on me. And so yeah, it was really difficult, and I realized while I was in Target that I am now officially waddling. I didn't really notice it before because like I said, I have not been doing much walking, but I realized that I was waddling around Target. And so later, I think that day, I asked my husband, I was like, so did you notice that I've been waddling? And he kind of just like had like a little bit of a smirk on his face, and I think he felt like kind of bad for me. And I was like, it's okay, you can tell me, you know, you can tell me if I'm actually waddling. I feel like I am, but I just wanted to know if you can like actually see it. And he said, yeah, he could tell I was waddling. I've also had some pregnancy insomnia. Those of you who follow me on Instagram know that I've posted a couple of like throwback pictures in the middle of the night at like 2 or 3 a.m. Because I just get to the point where I'm like, I cannot fall back asleep, and I end up just like scrolling through a bunch of old pictures. And yeah, I've been posting them on Instagram, and so you guys can see some of my throwback pictures. So I have been forgetting to tell you guys about weight gain. So whenever I found out I was pregnant, my starting weight was 109. And I am now at 137.5. So I have gained about 28.5 pounds throughout my pregnancy so far, and I am totally okay with that. So I actually have had some cravings this past week, which seems unusual because I feel like I haven't craved anything in a really long time, and I feel like my appetite has kind of gone down. Because obviously as the baby grows, your stomach shrinks and there's not a whole lot of room in there. So I'm not really like I can't eat a whole lot, but I've been craving stuff this past week, so I thought I'd share that with you guys. So I've actually been, one of the biggest things is ice water. Oh my gosh, I just got kind of dizzy. But yeah, so we never really use our ice machine, and I have been this past week like loving ice water. It sounds so amazing, like that is what I want right now. Got my ice water But yeah, I realized that sometimes if you are craving ice or like wanting to chew on ice and stuff like that, I think that means that your iron levels are low, but I actually did just have blood work done at my doctor's office and everything came back as normal, so I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think I've just been like hot and just craving ice water. I also, while I'm on that subject though, I also did have blood work done, like I said, at my doctor's office, and they tested for like HIV and I think like syphilis and stuff like that. It's just kind of one of those things that's like required to have tested around this time in your pregnancy. So I just wanted to mention that to you guys. Obviously, like none of that stuff came back as positive, it's all negative. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that was something that has happened this past doctor's visit. So some other cravings that I've had are salad and cucumbers. Oh my gosh, cucumbers have been so delicious. And then another craving that I've had is anything like breakfast foods. So yeah, those have been my cravings for this past week. I have still been having Braxton Hicks contractions, but I have not had as many, or like I haven't had them as frequently, nor have they been like, have I had them with any cramps or lower back pain. They've just kind of like come and gone. And I usually have them at least several times a day and throughout the night. So they're still there, and I'm still having like lower back pain and a lot of hip pain. Let me know what you guys are, if you're around the same week that I am. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys have been experiencing, or if you're having any similar symptoms as I am. I love to hear from you guys. And I will go ahead and show you guys my baby bump now. As always, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you can follow my pregnancy journey. I will be posting for hopefully the rest of my pregnancy updates every single week, and I'm hoping to film my hospital, what's in my hospital bag very, very soon. We already have it packed. I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.